Happy to be joined by Whit Beckman this morning at Churchill Downs to talk about his Oaks and Derby contenders. Whit, first we'll start with Simply Joking. Ladies first, running in the Oaks. This filly put on a show with Quiet Side last time out in the Grade 3 Fantasy at Oaklawn. What do you think she gained from that race?
Definitely some experience. It was only her third start, so most of her other starts, her first start she had a little bit of trouble, but her second start she didn't get much out of it, just being on the lead. So feeling the pressure from the outside and having to run a pretty intense race the whole way around with no breaks, she showed she has a lot of guts, a lot of resilience, and hopefully we can turn the tables next time out.
And then Drexel Hill, your other Oaks filly, she was at Fairgrounds and then shipped back to Turfway, actually, after that last race at Fairgrounds. Was there a motive behind maybe bringing her back earlier? How do you feel that benefited her?
It wasn't so much that I wanted to bring her to Turfway, but we were going to go to New York, so that was kind of like the happy medium rather than shipping all the way to New York. So I sent her up to Turfway for a few days, got a little acclimation to some colder temperatures, and then we sent her up to New York and then back to Turfway. But, it wasn't ideal, but I think it was, for us. She had trained on the Poly and Woodbine, so I wasn't really concerned with how she was going to handle that surface. Just kind of circumstantial.
And then flying Mohawk, your Derby contender who has not run on the dirt before. Is there anything from a trainer's perspective that you maybe train a little bit differently to prepare him to race on the dirt compared to the turf or the synthetic?
Yeah, I think with his works, I've kind of sharpened him up a little bit. I'm letting him go a little further. 5/8 last week. We'll probably go another 5/8 in his last work before. With a turf horse, I generally probably would just kind of keep him at that half-mile distance, a little more controlled. But, running on the dirt, you do have to have that fitness element or edge, so we'll let him do a little bit more.
And then one other horse I'll talk about is Anna Marie, who was actually your Derby starter last year. We are going to see him probably on Wednesday in the Isaac Murphy Overnight Marathon. Can you talk a little bit about that decision to stick him in there and try the 1.5 miles?
Yeah, we always thought he would get better as the distances increase. Obviously, a 3-year-old last year, there was no 1.5 mile races because the Belmont was 1.25 miles. So, we're just looking at our options through the next couple weeks. There is an allowance coming up a couple days, or 3 weeks from now. But I think with the way this stake turned out and the way we've always kind of wanted to run him that distance, we might just give him a shot. We'll see what the weather and things do. But for right now, I think that's what we're going to do.
All right, well, thank you for your time this morning and best of luck with Oaks and Derby and all the above.
Oh, thank you very much.